Welcome back to the Sideline Reporters podcast. We're going to be reporting the highlights, the biggest highlights of week 2. So let's get into it. I'm here with Spencer again. Spencer's here.
I'm here.
Yes. Waved his hat like we have a camera. Yeah, there you go. You can't see it, but you can picture it. Anyway, let's get into the highlights of what happened during week 2. Lots of injuries and lots of big news happening around the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lots. We have Big Ben for the Steelers. He's out. He's placed on IR, and he's out for the season. Rumors have it, though, that he might retire. Who knows? I don't think that he'll retire, though.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he got the 2-year contract extension. I think he'll just try to, get better, heal up faster with the injury that he got. Any thoughts on Big Ben?
Yeah, he's injured. But what he said was that he wanted to be like if he doesn't heal like quick enough this season, next season he was thinking about being like a QB coach, which I think is weird because earlier and the offseason and last year he said he didn't want to help the backup QB. If the backup QB asked him a question, he'd just give him the playbook and said figure it out. So when Roethlisberger said, "Oh yeah, I want to be a coach, I want to be a mentor," it was just weird. Jackson want to actually be nice.
I'm surprised because the backup quarterback did a pretty good job, actually. I'm not. Yeah, I think he did a good job than most backup QBs. Like he played as, I guess, like he's actually started in a game before, but I don't know if he actually did during his career. I'm not sure about that one. But he threw for 2 touchdowns and 1 interception, which is pretty good for backup. In his debut, pretty sure it was.
He might have played a playoff game or something.
I'm not sure. I don't know about that backup quarterback, but we'll see how he does against the Niners in week 3. So another big new story that happened was Drew Brees. I think thumb injury.
Yeah, thumb.
Was it? I think it was a torn. He tore something in his throwing.
And his throwing thumb, yeah.
Yeah, and that made the Saints really plummet. I don't know, but
First you lose to the Rams again.
Yeah, their confidence just went down. I mean, they would have had, a touchdown, but same thing happened, which was like, okay, well, we've seen that before. And if you that was, I saw that in the highlights of the game, and that was, no. I didn't think they would do that call again. It happened. Nothing was called, but, it's whatever. It's a game. It's done. You can't do anything. It's in the past now. I think Drew Brees is out for, what, approximately 6
weeks.
Yeah, approximately 6 weeks. Damn.
Never high-five a D lineman.
Yeah, no. I think it was Aaron Donald, wasn't it? Yeah, no. Big man.
Getting ready to throw, and their hands just met, and Brees went down.
Hey, high five. Ow. That was a big high five. Don't do that again. Hurt my thumb.
Coach, take me out.
I'm Jay Cutler. No. This is fun.
It is.
Another big news. I think this came out today, which was it today or Monday? Yesterday. About the Giants.
Oh, that was today.
That was today.
It's today.
Woo. Yeah, Eli Manning's career is we don't know yet,
Hot seat.
but he bench. Yeah, he's benched, and Daniel Jones is gonna be the starting quarterback now, starting week 3. So I'm kind of excited to see how the Giants would do. I really hope Daniel Jones does good and prove all the Giants fans wrong about his performance. I mean, he did pretty good in the preseasons, right?
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about.
What did I talk about?
All the Giants fans like him. None of them are thinking that
I
it's
thought
going to be bad.
I thought during the draft they didn't like him.
No. Well, the draft, yes. Off season and preseason, they like him. It was
the change of heart.
Yeah, they saw him play and said, "Yeah, better than Eli." So they've been waiting this whole time just to bench Eli, which I don't get. Eli has taken you to 2 Super Bowls, won both of them. Is pretty good. Not as good as Peyton, but still, like, better than most quarterbacks that are currently playing today.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 games in, he's played well those 2 games, and then he just, all right, Jones, you're in. Eli, you can just sit on the bench. Do what you want. Read a magazine.
If you want, you can wear the earpiece, and listen to the play calls, but it's the same play calls.
Watch your brother's highlights from years past.
Yeah, just go to NFL like Throwback, that channel, and then just go to like the Sheriff and just watch it. You'll learn.
Yeah. But no, he's a good quarterback who people just don't like. He's like Cutler for the Giants. He throws an interception or 2, and people want him to get on the bench. Then when he has a good game, they're like, okay, he's good enough. And then he has one more bad game. Okay, back on the bench you go.
You gotta give Eli Manning a little bit of credit, right? I mean, he threw for 250 yards. I mean, sure, 2 interceptions hurt. Especially 2 interceptions hurt the team when you don't, when you.
But is that his fault? Or can you put some of the blame on the receiving and some of the blame on the defense for not sapping the Bills' offense?
To be honest, the Bills are 2-0, so I don't.
Somehow.
I have no say for that. I don't know what to say to that question. That's a hard question for me. Should the receivers be to blame, or should the defense be to blame for the Bills? Or both?
I say both. Eli is doing what he's always done.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a receiving core. They don't have Beckham anymore. They don't have Shepard. I mean, it's just they don't have this one big name or 2 big name receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Who's Eli got to throw it to? Benny Fowler. How many teams has he been on? 3. What about Cody Latmer? Who's he? They have Russell Shepard. They can throw it to Barkley every once in a while when they do a special play, but there's no good receivers on the Giants. Eli does not have a guy to go to.
Yeah. I think that kind of showed, it really did show during their highlights of the game that I watched. Eli Manning was just like, looking down the field, and he couldn't really find any good receivers open. So it mostly was, I guess, it was all up to Saquon Barkley to, run the ball or try to get open. But, he can't do everything by himself.
Yeah.
So it's more, I guess you could say, it's on both. But I would say for the Giants, it's also the receivers. They have to at least beat the coverage that they're facing and try to at least get open in order to make big plays and for the Giants to at least, rack up some points. And it can't be all on Saquon Barkley to do it. So we'll see what happens next week.
Now a game that I want to talk about would be the Colts-Titans game.
Mm-hmm.
So before the game even starts, boom, goes in equipment, and the field just catches on fire.
Yes, that was the big news.
That was big news. No, that was one big news.
That was one of the big news.
The other big news, Vinatieri. Does he want to retire? As of today, no, he does not. As of yesterday, debatable.
Yeah, well.
I mean, when you get 46 years old,
You
your
know,
body starts telling you stuff.
Yeah, he's not young anymore. I mean, let's hope that Tom Brady can retire before then. I mean, he's still throwing, right? But Vinatieri's kicking.
Mm-hmm.
The kicking power. It's his bones are his whole muscles and his bones are just like, yeah, okay, good kick. That was far right. Oh, okay. I just need to get a cool compress. Just get a cool compress first. Just let it settle down and it'll be good. But I think that, yeah, Vinatieri, I don't think he should retire.
I don't want him to.
I don't want him to. He's actually a really good kicker. But, so one of these, it happens, People start to get older. Body doesn't work. And you're just like, please don't go.
Without you, the NFL's not the same.
And then the veteran players are like, I know, but it's time to change.
Yeah. Then what are the Colts going to do? Next season, if he does retire, they'll be lookless. They'll be Vinatieri-less.
Yep.
So, Colts history is just changing.
And then back to rebuilding.
Maybe.
We'll see. Unless they would
Brissett's doing well.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 touchdowns this last game. Not too many yards thrown, but still 3 touchdowns. Still got Hilton.
Yeah.
Hilton.
Just hope that he doesn't get injured.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big one if he gets injured. Star receiver.
Yeah.
The one we should talk about was the most crucial one for you as a Bears fan, right? Was the Broncos and Bears game.
Woo. So let's just say I'm happy. So
Happy Panero got a 50-yard.
52-yarder.
52-yarder.
Um,
Right down the middle.
So the thing I don't like about kickers in the NFL, they always scare me. The ball always goes out to the sides, and then for some reason it's like golf, comes back in.
Right.
So I'm just going, oh shit, here we go again. Oh nope, it's good. Woohoo, we won. I mean, that game was just, I don't know. I was on the edge of my seat basically for the whole game. Trubisky still needs to improve.
Yeah.
He did nothing in that game. Well, he didn't do nothing, but he didn't do much. Montgomery, Nagy finally learned. Use Montgomery. Use him. You got Patterson. You got Cohen. Robinson is still Trubisky's go-to guy. It was hard to throw it to him because the Broncos were actually covering him. And for our defense, where's our secondary? Last year we had a secondary. Kyle Fuller, 7 interceptions, went to the Pro Bowl. We had Eddie Jackson, Amos, and all that. We lose Amos, we lose Callahan. Chuck Pagano comes in, and all of a sudden, these past 2 games, the receivers catch the ball, get 3-4 yards after the catch before one of our guys comes and tackles him.
And the Bears got lucky with the field goal, to be honest, because if they did what the Saints did last week against the Texans, they went through that roll, and I think Matt Nagy said that too, didn't he?
Yeah, he talked about
that. They were looking at how the Saints won that game against the Texans, and then they utilized that, and it worked.
The thing that I'm thankful for though is that the refs gave the timeout to the Bears.
Yeah.
Robinson, you catch the ball, you go down right away, call a timeout. You, as the receiver, have to be the one to call the timeout because the refs are looking at you.
Mm-hmm.
They're not looking at the coach. They're not looking at Trubisky. But for some reason, they gave us the timeout, and boom, we win.
Yeah, that was. I was driving home from Cincinnati, and my dad was on the NFL app, and he saw, immediately, he just opens it up. It's the Bears and Broncos. And it was like, okay, there's 1 second left, and it's a 52-yarder. And then my dad said the ball it swayed to the right, and then like just went in, and I was like, hey.
Every Bear fan was on the edge of their seat, shitting their pants.
Yeah. I was like, oh, wow, okay. Thank God.
We have a kicker.
Yeah.
Except Cody Parkey last year was perfect until like around week 4, week 5. So we got a few more games to see.
We'll see what happens.
Plus, it was in Denver. Easiest place to kick because high altitudes, no winds.
We'll
very little.
Yeah. We'll see what happens in the next 2-3 weeks, right?
Back home against the no, actually, it's away for the Redskins.
Yeah.
So Washington.
That's
Monday night.
Yeah, Mondays.
And then home against the Vikings. So Redskins, I feel we could win. Vikings, tough game.
What do you think about Joe Flacco?
Flacco?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Flacco, I like what he did on the Ravens when he was there. And now here on the Broncos, he's been doing still decent. I mean, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 290-plus yards, 300 yards. Yeah, he's still pretty good. He's got good receivers. He's got a good running game to surround him.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he can lead the Broncos to maybe like 7-9 season. But yeah, he's
not doing bad as a quarterback. I think it's just also just the team as a whole. They just need to make more plays and get down to the red zone and especially towards the end zone and score that touchdown. I think it's just it's all about luck, play calling.
Yeah, it's a team sport.
It is.
You don't have just one guy winning everything.
Right.
Sanders is helping Flacco, and Flacco is helping Sanders. He's putting the ball where he needs it, and Sanders is making that catch.
It's all about chemistry, people.
Yep. Big part of winning.
So let's talk about Monday night, the Browns and Jets.
Browns just did a flip over.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to say. It was sort of, it's the Jets. Yeah, you don't have Sam Darnold, but like, he was probably like kissing someone.
Mono.
Yeah, that's why he got mono. I don't know, but he was probably hardcore kissing. And then backup quarterback Simeon out because of the ankle.
Mm-hmm. And then you get Luke Falk, and people are just like, who?
He's an actual quarterback? Huh? I didn't know. What if he gets injured? Huh?
Then you go to somebody who can throw. Anybody. But that game just, I have OBJ on my team.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw that he was out because of a illegal visor he was wearing, I thought he was actually going to be out. And then he comes in, remakes a one-handed catch, like what he did at LSU and when he was a Giant. Just that, I'm back, gets the ball, and land. And I'm just like, that's why you get Odell.
Right.
And the Browns got him.
He doesn't cause drama.
Nope. Well,
not
so
as much.
Not on the Browns.
Yeah, not on the Browns. It was different in when he was a Giant, but it's different now. He's a better person.
No more kissing nets,
as he says. But for the Monday night game, I guess it was okay. I didn't really like it.
You didn't like the game?
It was like, okay, well, I know the Jets suck. Jets really made themselves suck, I mean.
See, now you're sounding like my dad. He said that last night, too.
Did he really?
Mm-hmm. To me,
the Jets aren't a bad team. It's just that when you lose your franchise quarterback at all, this is for any team. If you lose your franchise quarterback, it's like the whole team itself is just like, I don't know what to do. But then it's like, if you have confidence, if you have confidence in the whole team, you have confidence in the players, in your secondary and all that, then you'll be fine. But I feel like for the Jets, they just don't have that confidence that made them just have just 3 points. I mean, it was just a field goal, but like, I just felt like they just weren't in sync with any of it. Like the third string quarterback was just, all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Not surprised. I mean, they lost they lost the backup in like the first quarter, was it? Or second?
I think it was second.
It was
quarter.
second?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a bad ankle injury though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But we'll see what the Jets do. See how that goes.
Mm-hmm. Le'Veon Bell's not really doing much either.
Are they going against the Patriots?
I
think so, right?
They will eventually. Yep. Next
week?
Sunday. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Well, here we go.
So that's another loss.
Yep.
Patriots been putting up points against teams.
Yeah. Us. Yeah. Speaking of Patriots, we can go Patriots and Dolphins. Well,
shutout.
Shutout. One-sided game. Not surprised. And then AB, Antonio Brown made his debuted as a Patriot.
Makes a touchdown grab, which I did not want him to make.
I always wonder about what goes on with the Patriots.
Apparently there hasn't been drama yet.
There's no drama yet, but I think they pay him the money secretly than the NFL knows, to keep his mouth quiet, and it's working.
Yep.
So, and also the allegations, it's gonna be disappeared, like with Robert Kraft's allegations. It just
put a blanket over them. Nobody will see it.
Yep.
If you don't see it, it doesn't exist.
Yep. So that's how it's gonna be with the Patriots. So we don't really know what's gonna happen. But the Dolphins, they really need their improvements big time. Doesn't matter where.
0-16 season.
Oh, who knows? Maybe.
It's gonna be 0-16. I know.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Let's see when they get their first win. They got shut out twice. Oh my God. With big numbers too. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
They can't even get a field goal. I don't know. Like, what's the problem here?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, they scored against the Ravens last week, but yeah, good luck coming back to that
10
one.
10 points.
Yeah. But we'll see if they improve. I hope they improve. If not, oh well.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
It's Florida.
It's Florida. All right. Eagles, Falcons. That was a good game.
Sunday night, right?
Sunday night football. I needed the Eagles to win. Eagles did not win. They were close. They came back. They did not win.
Yeah, with Matt Ryan in the last 2-minute warning, he was just like, "Hey, Julio, where you at? Oh, you're right there? Okay. I'll pass it to you. Let's do a screen." And you go, "Okay."
Yeah, that Eagle guy who just missed Jones, like, you were right there.
You didn't even...
Wrap your arms around, give him a hug, take him down.
Right.
I don't know, do what you need to do, but no, just like it was like a 5-10 yard drop off, and Jones just took it the rest of the way.
Yeah.
And game's over. Falcons were like the Browns, they just did a flip over. You thought, oh, this team lost to the Vikings week 1, they're not going to do anything this week. Falcons, they get confidence. Matt Ryan throws 300-plus yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Jones has a great game. Ridley has a great game. And you just look at them going, where were you last week?
Right. It's like, what happened? Were you guys asleep during week 1? What happened?
Did you think it was preseason still?
Right. I mean, back and forth overall, it was like, what I saw, I thought it was like interception, okay, interception, okay, interception, okay. You get one, we all get one.
We all get interceptions.
But overall, I think that was a good Sunday night game, even though it was back and forth. But like, Falcons fans have to admit though, they almost lost. If it wasn't for Julio Jones just like balling his way.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the Eagles, they did. Carson Wentz almost made it, but I don't know what happened. I think he was either too tired, or it was something. It was something. I don't know what it was.
I mean, Josh McCown even had to come in, and when Josh McCown was in, he did well. So, but then Wentz gets healthy, he says he's good, and McCown is getting close to scoring a touchdown, and then they're like, oh wait, nope, he says he's good, put him back in, and then the outcome's just they lost.
Yep. Just that one touchdown.
That one touchdown is all they needed.
Yeah, one touchdown and it would have been all good. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're gonna go to Oakland, the Chiefs versus Raiders. Well, it was a pretty good first quarter. The Raiders, I think, got 10 points.
10 points, Chiefs nothing.
Yeah, and Raiders fans were super happy about that. And then Patrick Mahomes was just like, "Okay, I let you have your moment. Here we go again.
No more Mr. Nice Guy."
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I mean, the Raiders, even though it was a big loss, 28-10, they're still proving us wrong. I mean, Josh Jacobs is proving to be their running back for the future. Derek Carr played average. He played fine. And the defense is doing pretty well with Fontes and Dill making a good amount of tackles. Just stopping the Chiefs in the first quarter and not letting them score for the second half. It was just that one quarter, that second quarter, that messed them up. If the Raiders offense was doing what they did in the first quarter, they would have won because they just shut out the Chiefs second half.
But you also got to admit, though, with the second half of the game, there's no scores.
No scores.
So you gotta have at least give Oakland some credit, the Oakland's defense for stopping Patrick Mahomes, and the offense, because their offense is explosive, and they'll find a way to get open and make touchdowns because he's got lots of weapons, and he's under Andy Reid's playbook. So whatever he calls, it'll happen, and it happens 95% of the time, which is ooh, I don't want to verse that team.
Yeah.
But it happens. It's whatever. I mean, the Raiders did do a pretty good job fighting that battle, but eventually lost. But it's okay.
Patrick Mahomes still threw 4 touchdowns. So
for 4,
who's going to stop him?
Yeah,
for real.
yeah. For 400 yards. Ooh.
Hopefully he'll be a better Brady. A Brady that I'd actually want to root for.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. If he retires before the age of 40.
Mm-hmm.
If he wins as much as Brady has and he retires before 40, happy.
Yeah.
Sorry for putting so much shade on Brady. But not sorry at the same time.
If you like him, just comment down. Why?
Yeah.
I want to know why.
And don't say because he has 6 Super Bowl rings and is still playing in the NFL, even though he's in his 40s. Because, that's a bandwagon statement right there. You got to, we know a friend, the only reason why he roots for him.
It's because he likes Michigan. And who came from Michigan? Brady.
Exactly. So that's a good reason why you should like him. But other than that, if you just say, 6 Super Bowl rings, and he's a GOAT, that's not really an explanation.
No.
But if you want,
if
comment.
It's his personality, his play skills, maybe.
Yeah, I mean his playing skills. Yeah, his arm is pretty good for a 40-year-old.
Mm-hmm. His personality, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
He motivates his team. He likes to have fun on Twitter now that he just got. He knows how to make jokes, but
some of them are cheesy, but they're dad jokes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not surprised.
But yeah, just comment down. Why?
Yeah.
And if you don't like Brady, give this video a thumbs up. We're with you.
Hey, more shade on Brady next week, right?
Yeah. Let's go for it.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens next week when they verse the Jets, and we can shade more on Brady.
Mhm.
If you want that, give us a like. Jeez. Okay,
Alright.
so we're gonna go down to let's go with the Cowboys and Redskins. Oof. In the oofity oofy oof.
Redskins still can't win. They still look like they can, but yet they always end up not.
Mm-hmm. Dak Prescott looked a little bit sloppy in the first quarter, but somehow he was just like, I think he kind of motivated himself, and then he got motivated on the sideline or something happened.
He saw the defense. He's starting to figure it out
Mhm.
more throughout the game, and then he just clicked.
So and he went all out, and they won the game 31-21. He threw for 259 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But for the Redskins, what you said, they have potential to win. It's just
They can't finish.
they can't finish they just really can't finish what they started. And that's kind of, not what you want. But I mean, they need at least some motivation from the head coach, to at least get their spirits up and, tell them to finish it instead of, there's like,
No, I don't want to be that guy, but
is the game over?
in a few weeks, you might have to bench Keenum. If you can't win, you're gonna have to bench Keenum. I don't like benching starters anytime throughout the season, because I always say, like, even if they're doing poorly, just let the guy finish his season. You started him, so finish him. But I mean,
Unless he gets big injury.
yeah, then you have to
Yeah.
bench him.
Yeah, no matter what.
Yeah, but I don't know. If you guys can't get your gears rolling, you're gonna want to have to switch quarterbacks, see if that changes anything. But Case Keenum, 200-some yards, 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, which looks fine,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not gonna get you anything. That doesn't translate to wins.
With their rushing, I don't know if it's just because of the defense, stopping the run plays.
Mm-hmm.
But Adrian Peterson only got 10 carries and 25 yards. That's for him. That's kind of disappointing.
It is.
For his stature, it really is disappointing. I mean, the Cowboys' defense isn't. It's a good defense. I just wouldn't say. I mean, you have maneuvers that you can do that will gain you the yards back, but I guess they were just uncoordinated or something. Or the Cowboys' defense is just good.
Mhm.
I don't know what to say to that.
I mean, you gotta admit, like, you're going up against Leighton Vander Esch. You're going against Jalen Smith. You're going against, Sean Lee. What do you expect? You're gonna get 300 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns? No, you can't.
Yeah, man, I'm
that.
trying to be the next Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. But Adrian Peterson, the Redskins, you got an older, not so good rushing back.
You have a lot of vets, which is good to have, for inspiration.
Mm-hmm,
But you need younger talent because they're getting a little bit to that point where you can't run as fast as you used to, and as a running back, that's more like that's a lot of I don't know how to phrase it. As a running back, it's a lot of like weight on basically not on your shoulders but your legs now, because it's like you're putting too much effort into it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like it's not, you can't get your gears rolling.
You're over milking a cow.
Basically.
You keep putting them in and they're not producing anything.
Right.
AP got 2.5 yards on average per run. That's not good.
Yeah.
That'd be more than 4 downs to get a first down.
So for the Redskins, I think they just need just a better running game.
Pick up somebody free agency.
Right.
Maybe
They still got 6 more weeks for that. So they got time.
Maybe sit AP for a while. Start Steven Sims because he got 5.3 on average. And 16 yards and 3 carries doesn't look good, but
it's something.
Maybe if you just use him more, you'll get into a rhythm.
Right. You gotta at least start. You gotta switch out. You know, you gotta keep switching out.
Don't switch out as much as the Bears though. They won't get momentum. But do it more than the Redskins.
Yeah. At least have every running back at least a chance to get reps in.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a lot, you know, like what Spencer said about what the Bears do, but just at least let them get their reps. All right, so next game we're going down to Houston, and they versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. You got secondary backup quarterback, and then he did good, right?
He's doing well for not being like a newcomer. Foles goes down. Minshew proved himself week 1. Minshew proves himself week 2.
Yeah, he did pretty good for his second start as a starting quarterback. I just think, though, receivers got beat that coverage.
Yeah, they do.
They really do. It was a 12. The score was 12-13. Houston won, but it's a close game. It's just open. Be more open. At least they were probably open. Don't get me wrong. They were probably open. I just don't think they got the conversions. They didn't probably get the conversions, or they didn't, or they dropped it.
Yeah,
it's one of those.
But the good thing about the Jaguars, that defense. So many times did Deshaun Watson get sacked. 6 times, 7 times. I know. I had him on my fantasy, and I just saw those points dwindle down. Every sack, lose a point. Oh, look, you got negative 4 points. Well, the good thing, Texans, you came back.
Yeah. Hey, let's hope he doesn't get the most sacks like he did. What, last year? Was it last year or 2 years ago?
Last year maybe.
It was probably 2018 season, I think. But let's hope he doesn't get to that point. But they did. They made a comeback. Mm-hmm. That was probably like the most aggravating thing the Jaguars could watch. But whatever. Again, it's only week 2. It's nothing. Mm-hmm. So
it was a close game in the first half, boring close. 6-3 halftime. Nothing produced third quarter. Jaguars, they score 9 points. You're thinking, oh, I'm going to win. And then the Texans are like, hold my beer. I got this.
Right.
Touchdown.
It's like, okay. Hey, Watson. Yeah? Make sure you throw it to Hopkins. Okay.
He'll get you down the field.
Okay.
And then when you get down the field, just run it in. Why not?
Okay, sounds good.
Yep.
Oh, hey, we won. Hey. That's basically, I feel like that's how it goes.
Yeah, Hopkins just comes up to him. It's like, you do know I'm on the team, right? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Here you go. Oh, look, it worked.
Yeah. All right, so we're going down to Cincinnati. 49ers versus Bengals.
Your game.
This is the game that I was at. That's why I let Spencer do all the talking with the other games because I didn't see most of them. But, okay. First off, holy crap. Never seen the Niners go 41. Scored 41 points. The Bengals, that that last touchdown, technically, who cares? I didn't care. I really didn't. It was like 50 seconds in the fourth quarter. But, that game was great. As a Niner fan, that was great. First off, it was the Bengals home opener, and lots of Bengals fans. Didn't really fill up the stadium though, but lots of Bengals fans there. And they were really trash talking the Niners. So we were like, okay, we'll see what happens. If they lose, they lose. If the Bengals lose or win, okay. It's not the end of the world. It's really early in the season. So, anyway, besides that, got to go to that rushing game, man. Matt Breida, man, 12 carries, 121 yards. And then Raheem Mostert, 13 carries, 83 yards. And then you have Jeff Wilson Jr. He just got signed today. Not today, sorry. He just got signed back from practice squad to active roster. And then scored a touchdown. So it was like all over the place. And then you have the rookie Deebo Samuels, who's just like, he looked really comfortable in that offense scheme. And you got to also give it to the Niners O-line for, not letting him get sacked, which I'm surprised he didn't. But with the injury that happened, though, with Joe Staley, that one was oof. He got carted off the field, and big oof. But, it's football. They play a hard sport. They got to rebound back. But for the Bengals, Andy Dalton, what happened? Last week he was like, 400 yards, right?
About, yeah.
Yeah. 400 yards against Seahawks. What happened? I mean, he did do good, though. He got 311 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, but, like, come on. I don't know what happened. I mean, I for sure thought personally that the Bengals will win. Personally, of what they showed last week against the Seahawks. But not in my mind did I ever think that the Bengals would lose drastically to the Niners. The one play that I did see, I think it was before halftime, was that Andy Dalton was under pressure, and he just threw it towards, I think it was triple coverage or double coverage. Anyway, it was around there. And then you have Quan Alexander just like, hey, I got a football. Look at that. Woo. And then, I don't know, it was a good game, and it was just high scoring for the Niners. First quarter, okay, score. Second, score. And then it was just every quarter they just scored. And I was like, wow, I hope this continues.
You gotta say, the 49ers are a surprising 2-0.
Yeah.
Before the season, you probably wouldn't think that.
No.
You'd think 1-1.
Right, but they haven't been 2-0 for their season start since 1989. So that's big. Yeah, really big for year 3 with Kyle Shanahan's knowledge. Let's hope that's luck.
Now, talk about that thing you just told me before we started filming. Before the game or after the game, you wanted Sherman.
Oh, yeah. So before we're gonna go to that, what was funny is I thought of something that you told me before all of this, was that if you're a fan for your team and they lose big, just stay. Why do you waste your money just to leave early?
Mm-hmm.
But there was this one fan that I had to appreciate, though. It was a Bengals fan and his friend was telling him, "Come on, let's go. There's no point, you know." And then the guy was just like, "Nah, I want to be here till it reaches 0, you know."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Oh yeah, that's a true fan right there, you know," because he was just like, he kept denying the friend, you know, telling him, "Come on, let's go. It's over, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's 41. They're not gonna do anything else." It's like, well, that's yeah, you know, that's your team. What can you do?
Mm-hmm.
It's your team's performance. Anyway, what Spencer was telling you folks about my experience was that when I was in Cincinnati, at the end of the game, I could have gotten Richard Sherman to take a photo of him and me together, and I really wanted that. I was screaming his name like Sherm, 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 and I was like thinking, wait, can I call him Uncle Sherm in my head? So I was like, "Hey, Uncle Sherm, hey!" And then he was like about to get my phone, immediately about to get my phone, and then the guy in the back, I think it was like telling him, he was like, "Come on, we got a press conference." He was like, "Oh, sorry, gotta go." I was like, no. It's for any person who's been through that, who's just like, "Hey, can you sign this, please? Hey, please, please, please." No.
Hey, dude, I feel your pain. Every preseason, I've been arm's length away from Mitch Trubisky, and every single time he'll be right by my hand with the item that I'm holding, and he'll just like reach up and around my arm and sign the guy next on both sides of me. Now that's partially my fault because I'm a 19-year-old giant, so when he looks at me, he probably thinks it's awkward that I'm by kids wanting a signature, but it's also my fault. Like, I'm quiet. As you can tell on this podcast, I don't speak much. I don't speak frequently. So I'm just standing the bow, staring at him like, hey, just to let you know I'm here.
Can I get a signature, please?
Nope, you're gone. Okay.
Oh.
It happened 3 times now. I'm right there. My hand is right there that I could just, like, slap him. And he just, "Oh, excuse me. I got to go around this guy." There you go. Sign the guy next to you. Right. Oh, this guy on the other side, let me just reach over your arm. There. And I just look at him walking around just going, "But why? I'm right here." So, yeah, that Sherman incident, just, I feel you.
Yeah, but at least I got a picture with the CEO and general manager of the 49ers. So I'm for me as a 49er fan, blessed. I can't say enough. Like that made my day. And also with the Niners winning, that also made my day. And it was a good time in Cincinnati, and it was just yes, you know. So I just got news from the NFL that the Lions are releasing C.J. Anderson.
Ooh.
So the veteran running back is now a free agent. And I don't know if it was a good choice. I don't know.
He didn't produce last game, but I don't know any like signs that will say like, "Hey, release him now." He's not going to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, he did pretty good with the LA Rams. So, I mean, it's probably a different scheme that they probably did. I'm not really sure, but we'll see what happens if he gets signed at all this season, and we'll also keep up to date with all the news that goes on around the NFL, with the highlights, and also big news like what happened with I think 3 starting quarterbacks. So we'll see what happens next week, and we'll continue to follow all of it. Anyway, overall, week 2, what do you think?
Flip-flop. That's the word I use the most. I gotta stick with it. Teams you thought did well, maybe didn't produce as well next week. Teams you thought, they can't win again. If they couldn't win against this team week 1, they're not going to win against this team week 2. Flip flop, they won. That's week 2. I mean, week 1, week 2, and sometimes week 3. I kind of just see how things go weeks. We did this in preseason, but with the rookies. So now we're going to do it with you starters. See how it works out. We got some new faces, some old faces. Let's just see what works, what doesn't. By week 4, we'll know what to do.
Right. And sure, wins are really good, but it also, like, mentally, you got to also prepare yourself, for losing too, because I feel like people who go undefeated or for a certain amount of time, they tend to have, it's good for them to have that high spirit energy, but it's also, I think bad for them too to lose, because then they're like, oh, well, there goes our chances, But we'll see what happens during week 3. And we'll be back here next week to discuss week 3. Any games you're looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to all Bears games. But for non-Bears games, Colts, Falcons. Colts are producing. Falcons are flip-flop. I want to see the Ravens, Chiefs. Can Jackson air it out and stay with pace with Mahomes?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe Rams, Browns. How's that going to turn out?
Yeah.
What about you?
For me, what I really want to see during week 3, well, obviously I want to see the Niners. But for me, without the 49ers, I actually want to see the Ravens and Chiefs. Because, right now they're really the hot teams. I kind of want to see the Ravens produce at a high level and go against Andy Reid's offense.
Who's going to come out 2-1?
We'll see what happens. That's going to be a good game, I hope. I really hope.
It's in Kansas City's favor, though. It's in Kansas City.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for sticking around, Spencer. And for you viewers, why don't we're going back to like the middle. Comment down below if why you like Tom Brady, and if you don't like Tom Brady, give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And we will be back next week to review and all that same stuff that we did in week 2. So, as always, have a day, and Spencer, leave it off with a goodbye.
Adios.